for the first time, we're trying to make it easier to connect both sides of the market, the builders and those supporting the builders, what we call the Startup Health Network, and then the Startup Health Moonshot companies of health transformers. So that would be in the nuts and bolts. The simplest way to describe what we're trying to do is create the central destination, the place that people can go. All right. Today is actually kind of a fun day for me because we flipped the script here. Our longtime compadre, Logan Plaster, is going to be interviewing me about Startup Health and our brand new network membership. For the first time, we're opening up the Startup Health Network and our private global community to the visionary decision makers, the thought leaders, the funders, and really the buyers, the investors that are supporting all of our health transformers and the builders of the world, the creators, the innovators, what we lovingly refer to as health transformers. So we're going to talk about why we're opening up the platform to the other side of the marketplace in a way that we've often done in live events like our Startup Health Festival and private salons and meetups. But for the first time, we're integrating into our online community in really exciting ways for the benefit of our Health Moonshot communities and really the benefit of everyone in the ecosystem so that we can collaborate and join together to make more progress. So we're going to talk all about that with Logan Plaster interviewing me on the who, what, when, where, why, and we'll probably talk about a lot of other things too. So stick around. It's going to be an exciting conversation. How's my bud Logan doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. The weather finally cooled off a little bit here in the middle of the East Coast. We had a pretty hot summer, but I'm just happy to be able to get outside and take walks and have it be below 80.
I saw the coolest thing online this week, and it was a picture of you and your son going to an event together in New York City. Tell me about it.
Yeah, well, I'd been telling him for years that I was going to take him on a trip with me, and boy, did he remember. Every time I went on a trip, he'd say, "Is this the one? Is this the one?" And when I was growing up, my dad took me to medical conferences, and then he and I worked together for many years, and so I had warm feelings about going on a work trip with my dad. So this one came up where it was just a simple networking event in Manhattan. We wanted to go up and support the work of this guy, Nick Culbertson, who leads Techstars in Baltimore, and he was speaking. So I told Theo that I'd bring him, and we'd make a night of it. We'd stay in a hotel, and I called the conference coordinator ahead of time and said, "Is it cool to bring a 12-year-old?" And he was nice about it. And then yeah, we took the train up. We bought a business casual outfit since he didn't really have anything appropriate. Went
I
to this
saw
event.
online it said his nice sneakers. He wore
Yes, yeah, yeah.
sneakers.
He bought some like cool green, Converse high tops.
He already fits in with the tech scene with the cool sneakers and all.
He requested that he, button his top button to look a little bit more polished.
Well, it's
And,
it's so interesting because the in when so many of us are traveling or remote work or we don't necessarily go into an office, the whole concept of take your kids to work day, which I think should be, take your kids to work often so they really learn from you and see it. It's totally a new
yeah,
moment for that whole concept for all of us that work in different ways and in that way. I mean, what
yeah.
a great thing to do, which is just go to in real life events and networking and what you do every day.
Yeah, and it was it was surprisingly, I don't know, like incongruous, just to like see a child, we'll see a 12-year-old, he's right on the cusp. Like, is he a kid? Is he a teenager? To see a kid at an event like that is like this cognitive dissonance where you're like, oh, the rest of my life is full of young people and families and people of all ages. It's only in these work environments where it's very skewed towards, people, a very homogenous environment. And so it kind of like shakes you out of your rhythm to have somebody else there.
Well, it's an important reminder because so many of us have families, so many of us have kids or
Yeah,
parents or we're kids, and one of the thing that resonated with the post that I saw about your experience, and I know we focus deeply on and always have with our health transformers, is teaching them to communicate in a way that resonates with anyone,
right.
whether that's your parents or your kids. And I thought that was a really cool frame, which is, hey, all you people out there networking, can you explain your business to my 12-year-old
Yeah.
and make it compelling and interesting and understandable? I thought maybe we'd do that today, Logan, where we flip the script here. You interview me about kind of what we're doing at Startup Health and
I love it.
our network community, but
It was
force me to try to convey and simplify and communicate what we're doing in a way that hopefully Theo loves when he listens to this podcast.
So I get to be the 12-year-old in this situation. I get
Yeah,
to
or
access my
force
inner child, is what you're saying.
yeah, force me to be relatable, uh,
Hmm.
or maybe more dynamic and more compelling. I think it's a big challenge
I
for
think you're always accessing your inner child. There's definitely a big piece of that there. So you're on one end of that spectrum of being in tune, I think, to your inner child. So that's a good thing.
I appreciate that. That means a lot because I do think, I have this rule. It's one of my personal golden rules, which is I call it the 5 to 80 rule, which is when I look at a product or a service, um, and it's only really happened a few times in my life where you instantly see that the solution deeply resonates with a 5-year-old and an 80-year-old, and they just
Mhm.
intuitively pick it up. The experience is amazing. They light up. I think you can go to the best museums, exploratoriums. We were just in Japan not long ago and went to this great place called Team Lab. In the States, there's these amazing centers, Meow Wolf, if you've heard of those. But you see 5-year-olds there and you see 80-year-olds and you see everybody's face light up equally.
Yeah,
So
that's
uh,
interesting.
I think it's relevant to innovators out there, to builders, to challenge themselves, to be able to do the 5 to 80 rule as they're building. And I'm going to challenge myself right now to try
Okay.
to communicate and convey what we're doing, why we're doing it, and where we're really at in a way that hopefully I don't know if it's going to resonate with any 5 or 80-year-olds, but I'll do my best.
All right. Well, we'll start with the foundations of who, what, where, why, when. So we'll start with the what. We're having this call because Startup Health, has restructured the membership model in some way. Tell us about the latest thing that you've rolled out.
Yeah, and let me just back up because over the past 15 years, our true North Star, our vision has not changed, which is we're trying to use a collaborative innovation model to speed up health innovation to achieve Health Moonshot so that we can impact people's lives and health outcomes, billions of people's lives for the better. So our vision, our mission for doing that has not wavered. As you know, over the years, we've experimented, we've tested, we've navigated, we've journeyed through um, different models and different ways to try to achieve that mission. And most recently, for the past couple of years, we've been really building out a membership model but mainly for the builders, for the entrepreneurs, the founders, the innovators themselves, who we've always supported over the past 15 years. And our membership model was focused exclusively on that ecosystem and that community to really help them band together and get the resources they need so they have a community to kind of journey through achieving these moonshots together. What's new today and what I'd really love to dig into is really an important um, opening up for us. It's something that for many years we've wanted to do, and we just have not, until now, done it in the way that we've wanted to do it. And that is to really open up the Startup Health platform and our community to the other side of the marketplace. Those are the funders and the customers, the buyers, the industry leaders and experts who are supporting the health transformers, the builders and creators and innovators. And we've done this for many years. We've long had a Startup Health network, and we've done it in the real world at big events, things that you've helped create many for over many years, the Startup Health Festival, for example. We've done it at meetups, we've done it at dinner salons, where we bring both sides of the ecosystem together. But now, for the first time, we're really opening up our online community, our online platform, and created a really easy way for anyone in the ecosystem to be a part of our Health Moonshot communities, to be a part of our mission, and to be a part of supporting the entrepreneurs and the innovators who are building today. And happy to dig into what that looks like and what that means.
Yeah, I think what I'm most curious about is just the nuts and bolts of what that collaborative innovation looks like. You mentioned that at the beginning of kind of what makes this unique. I'm reminded that like with the Alex Hormozy sort of school concept, kind of like there continues to be this push towards membership communities with different focuses. And so I'm curious, like what is going to be special about this play, this take on collaborative innovation?
It's such an important question. And um, I think, first of all, there's all sorts of extraordinary ecosystems and communities. That's one of the things I'm so pleased with today compared to 15 years ago when we started Startup Health. And you can go to amazing conferences like CES or HLTH or Vive or HIMSS, and in the real world for a couple of days, you can go network and you can find community. But what we're doing is we want to bring together the 24/7 access, the ongoing dialogue, the one place that the whole ecosystem convenes all year round. So you may go to events all over the world, but if there's a way we can bring together the innovation ecosystem in one place, first of all, globally, let's make this global. And secondly, let's make this 24/7. So we built an extraordinary platform. We have an online community, and we really are opening it up for the first time. So the first thing I would say is creating the space, the destination. Yes, there's places like LinkedIn. Yes, there's, um, I think, really extraordinary forums. But for the first time, we're trying to make it easier to connect both sides of the market, the builders and those supporting the builders, what we call the Startup Health Network, and then the Startup Health Moonshot companies of health transformers. So that would be, in the nuts and bolts, the simplest way to describe what we're trying to do is create the central destination, the place that people can go on
Yeah.
whether it's 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and connect with your people and
Yeah.
direct
Under
message
the
each other
yeah.
and all those good things.
Yeah, under the banner of a theme, under the banner of what? Health Moonshots, health innovation, collaborative innovation. What are some of the other things that kind of tie this group together?
Great question. So the first thing is all of our Health Moonshots and Health Moonshot communities are on this platform. So whether it's the diabetes and type 1 diabetes community or the brain health and Alzheimer's community or the access to care or food as medicine or women's health or longevity, all these communities are on this platform. And as you know, we've have hundreds of companies that we've been helping build over the last 15 years and their teams who are already on this platform. Um, so what we're also doing though is making it so that anyone joining the network can connect with each other. So investors can connect with other investors, share insights and deal flow, and really open it up. Really try to create a simple destination where people can ask and offer, where people can share insights, where people can get in touch with each other. And it's a trusted, filtered kind of place because the first filter is, are you in the health innovation ecosystem?
Yeah. Just to play devil's advocate, why not just run a LinkedIn group, a closed LinkedIn group with an application to join?
Great question. And there are those already. But I don't know if this is your experience, but with ours, it's just almost too much noise. So this gives us an opportunity to really create a niche community, create filters so we know everyone coming in, everyone is vetted, everyone is reviewed. So there is a level of, hey, who's in the room?
Yeah.
And in particular, we all founders, all builders apply. There's a pretty rigorous process of being in our Health Moonshot communities. But really just filtering, making sure there's that lens of this is a quality community and ecosystem all aligned by mission and purpose. And it's moderated. You don't really have that in the same way. Second of all, we offer a lot of different resources that you're not just going to get in a standard chat forum or Slack channel. Not only is there the member app where you can connect directly, not only are there ways for you to share insights and connect with each other on that platform, but we have ongoing fireside chats. These are with a lot of the industry luminaries, people like Vinod Khosla or Toby Cosgrove or Sue Siegel or Margaret Laws or Esther Dyson. We have these interactive forums that the entire ecosystem gets access to and can participate in. So there's much more of a knowledge sharing. There's
Mm.
much more of a wisdom sharing going on. And you don't really get that in just a Slack channel or a LinkedIn forum. We are also bringing this offline. So one of the things we've done over the past few years is almost meetups within larger events. So we like to also meet together and bring this ecosystem together in real life at places like JP Morgan, at places like HLTH, at places like Vive, or even mini events or conferences that are really important around the world related to specific Health Moonshot communities. You've been to a number of those, like CTAD or ADPD for the Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease ecosystem, those types of
Yeah.
really specific types of conferences. We're going there having private salons, private meetups to bring our members together around the world as well.
Okay. So you've been in this collaborative innovation game for a long time, more than a decade, and it's always been founder to founder. And you've seen you've seen the magic happen when it comes to founders working together, learning from each other. But this is, like you described, sort of a new move in terms of expanding the ecosystem, more types of people, more types of partners. Talk to me about what a sort of a dream or ideal interaction would be in the community that you're sort of seeing out there once the ecosystem gets activated. Who do you want to be talking with whom, and what do you want to have getting accomplished on the platform?
Thank you. Such a great question. This was really inspired by something we used to do at the Startup Health Festival, which, if you recall, on that third floor where all the energy was, we would do these like speed dating sessions where in 1 hour we would set up all these tables, and on one side of the table were the buyers or the funders or the experts, and on the other side of the table were the founders or the CEOs, the builders. And every
Yeah.
few minutes they would just rotate around. So, maybe over the course of 1 or 2 hours, you might make 20 meaningful connections that you then take offline or out of the Startup Health Festival and continue to build that relationship. So we're trying to do that, but just in the virtual world.
Yeah.
It's a global world now. The innovators are all over the world. The investors are all over the world. The buyers are all over the world. And the best thing to me will be when we start to see deals happening, when we start to see new connections forming, when we start to see the progress speeding up. So the great solutions getting more traction more quickly with customers, with funders, and where the funders and the buyers out there are saving an extraordinary amount of time. They're learning from each other. They're learning best practices. They're getting access to deal flow. They're filtering the solutions in very effective ways that can drive their business. And the last thing I'll say uh, on this particular topic, and I think this is really something I've just been reflecting deeply on. But in this new world of post GPT AI, let's call it, in this new world of AI, I think real world communities and interactions between people to people is more important and will continue to be more important than ever. Okay, I think this will continue. We will continue to see this in the real world in terms of real life events, and
Yeah.
those networking opportunities that happen in real life will become even more um, important. But I also think where people to people interactions are happening on an ongoing basis, and those connections are happening in private communities online, are also going to be more and more important in this future. We see it with Reddit, we see it with LinkedIn, we see it with these great platforms, but I think we're going to see kind of a plethora of niche communities take shape across industries, by the way. And I think the where we can all learn to build these deep connections over time in trusted environments and via trusted platforms, I think is going to be a real advantage in the future.
I think an interesting element of this that's coming out is the power of the niche, and the strength in actually being smaller, because we might tell ourselves, oh, I can communicate with my 30,000 LinkedIn connections, but really my true connections, the people that really matter to me and who I matter to, is a much more finite group of people. My relationships that I'm maintaining, it's a smaller group that really will take action when I need them to. And so obviously you want Startup Health to be massive and the community to be huge, but just this idea that there's strength in smaller, more meaningful communities, more meaningful relationships.
Yeah, it's not about, we don't need millions and millions of people on this platform. I'd rather have, a few hundred really deep, meaningful um, connections happening uh, with mission aligned players, with people who care deeply about solving the Alzheimer's challenge, about solving healthy lifespan, about driving costs down, about expanding access to care, about women's health, about
Hmm.
cardio, diabetes. If we are aligned by impact and themes and why we're all building these businesses, um, this isn't just about selling solutions or vendors selling things. This is about a niche, deep, meaningful framework and community and platform where we all care deeply about the larger mission at hand. And I think that's important.
I just pulled up the website and it looks like the cost is about $99 a month, but there's some sort of a promotional plan going right now. What would you say to the founder or the person in the industry? Am I correct? Is that the ecosystem cost? Am I seeing the right thing?
Yeah, that we have this is for the network side, for
Yeah.
the investors, for the buyers. We tried to make it, the only reason there's a cost at all is people value what they pay for. And,
Yeah.
this is the type of thing that people can expense on their work account, put on their credit card. We just wanted some kind of filter so we don't have a bunch of randos coming into this ecosystem and we can vet people.
Sure.
So it is a vetted community. We made it very affordable. You get access to all the events and all the things we do throughout the course of the year. And, if you pay by the year, we're charging less than $1,000 a year. So,
Yeah.
there's a monthly plan, but really the reason there's a charge at all is yes, we have costs. We got to pay for our team and to manage these things. But most importantly, it's to create that filter. And we just wanted to make it really, really affordable
Okay.
so that it could be on anybody's expense account. On the founder side, we have moonshot plans. We really go in depth in terms of how those plans work, and that's a whole separate kind of membership.
Yeah, we could get into that if you want to. I think the bigger question is in terms of how they would frame the ROI. Let's say they love the idea, but they need to go and turn and sell it internally to somebody else. What are some of the ways that a member should be thinking about the ROI of their membership?
Yeah, on the network side, this is going to be the place where, uh, for a relatively nominal amount of money to your company, you're going to build those trusted relationships, high impact relationships, the same way you might, if you're going to any industry conference, you're going to spend anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000, maybe more by the time there's airfare and hotel. You might spend 10 grand just to go to one 2 day conference, right? So this is 24/7. This is where you're going to build those deep, trusted relationships where we've kind of filtered the community. This is where you're going to network with each other. It's where you're going to get new deal flow. You're going to see new solutions on the cutting edge and be able to interact directly with the builders and founders themselves, get those key insights, key learnings. Things are moving so quickly now. What I would tell your CFO, what I would tell your boss, and by the way, maybe you're the CFO and you're joining this community, is this is how you're going to stay ahead of the trends. This is a fast moving, week by week, dynamic marketplace. So this is where the real-time conversations, the real-time insights, things change on a dime. For example, the whole first part of the year, we had companies figuring out the changing funding landscape with all the changes with academic institutions, with NIH grants, with tariffs, with all sorts of things. Those are real-time discussions happening daily. Um, so you've got these exclusive access to insights. You're also able to share your wisdom. You're
Mm.
able to offer your wisdom. And then there's all these in-person virtual things. Every year we do something at JP Morgan. Every year we do pavilions at HLTH and Vive. So you get VIP access to all of those. So for almost nothing, less than $1,000 a year, you get access to all those things. So if you can't afford that, I would question, and you're a big corporate or a big investor, I would reflect deeply on what you're spending your budget
Yeah.
on.
And then on the founder side, I did see something about perks, and I'm just thinking about kind of the easy ROI argument there.
Well, on the founder's side, and we see this all the time, and I love it. The first thing we do is get you access to our group purchasing and our perks platform. We see companies save, in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars in the first year on things like hosting, cloud, software, CRMs, legal resources, design resources. We have hundreds of perks and perk relationships that are designed to give, in some cases, free or discounted resources to the builders out there. So right off the bat, the first thing we do is not only integrate you into your Moonshot community, uh, but get you set up on perks. So what you paid for your membership pays off, hopefully, 5x or 10x right off the bat from the savings that you get while you're building. But most importantly, on the Health Transformer side, the Moonshot members, it's really about, as we've always done, building together so you're not alone during that journey. Um, and that's something that I know as a founder myself, it's just it's just such a long journey. It's such a lonely journey at times. There's ups and downs. And it's just so much better to do with other founders, other CEOs, other people going through the gauntlet, so to speak, that you are going through. Those peer circles, we have monthly peer circles. We've got weekly office hours. We've got regular fireside chats. We have a lot of different programs that we do, and it's all for the benefit of helping make it easier for you to build so you're not alone during those that journey. One thing I'll mention, and this is really important, really one of the fundamental reasons we even shifted to a membership model at Startup Health on the founder side was to make it accessible for later stage companies, for companies that maybe aren't raising capital, so we weren't able to invest in them,
Mhm.
um, but are now able to come into our Health Moonshot communities. We would really have worked hard to open up this platform to all innovators, all stages globally on both sides of the ecosystem. And
Yeah.
we've just really, it hasn't been easy, to do that. And we've just experimented a lot and we're still learning. There's a lot to figure out still. And we're seeking advice and feedback. We're open to, we adapt quickly, as you know, and we're constantly trying to improve this for the benefit of speeding up the health innovation progress.
I'm glad you mentioned that last piece because I was going to ask about taking equity as part of the arrangement. A lot of people will try to understand startup health in relationship to a broader incubator accelerator market. Kind of how does this community fit in with what I'm used to? And so you're talking about not taking equity, kind of expanding the ability for people to join. Obviously, like a Techstars will have a very limited cohort, 8 companies, 10 companies, and this is something where you can bring an entire network together. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and reducing friction so that no matter what stage, if you're pre-seed stage or seed stage and just getting started, or you're a Series D company and already have a valuation of multi-billion dollars, and want to work towards achieving these health moonshots with mission-aligned founders and access to the key strategics and players that are going to help you do that, this is an easy way for you to do that. Simple monthly membership dues, like any great member community or association would have. That reduces all the friction. It opens it up to the anyone who's mission aligned to what we're trying to do, and it cuts out all that decision making around Does your board have to approve it? What's the cap table look like? All those complexities, all the legal frameworks, all of that gets stripped away. And uh, we worked really hard on that. And you mentioned Techstars. It also makes it a lot easier to collaborate with the hundreds of amazing accelerators that are out there, the hundreds of amazing incubators that are out there, the great strategic players and invite the portfolios from any venture fund into this platform and not have to worry about the cap tables and the investments. We do have three funds that we are fully invested out of. And we actively manage those investments and grow those companies and just have so many extraordinary winners that we've helped develop over the years and continue to do that. We have just worked really hard to try to open this up in a way that benefits the entire ecosystem. So that's really kind of the impetus for some of these changes.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so my 12-year-old brain hears that you have opened up your membership model to create an entire ecosystem of folks who can be part of this collaborative innovation plan, not just founders, but also the investors and the partners and the buyers and everybody has an accessible price point that they can join at, and it's a 24/7 online community that also gives you access to in-person events, and that's on the ecosystem side, and then you're still doing on the founder side the Health Moonshot community programming that you've been doing for years. That's what I'm. Did I get it right?
You did, and I would tell your kids, hey, it's like a private club of people that all care deeply about the same things,
Hmm.
and we unite together so we can be friends and help each other and share things together in a way that's truly meaningful. Um, and we're on the same mission that we've always been on. We love to collaborate with people. We love long-term relationships. That's one of the best things about our relationship since we first met, Logan, is we care deeply about long-term partners and collaborations. And because we all care about the same things, which is doing great work and impacting the world and spending our time in meaningful ways. And that's what I'm so grateful I get to do with these amazing founders and all the ecosystem partners that support them.
Well, I'm excited to see how it rolls out, and excited for the
Hey,
shift. It's an
one,
exciting time of year for a change like this, and heading into the fall. So it's
well,
exciting
one
to
thing
see.
I just thought of is we'll create a VIP code called Logan. Okay, so anyone that's listening, if you just type in Logan when you're signing up for the Startup Health Network, you're going to get the VIP treatment. You're going to get basically over 40% off, and we're going to give you a bunch of special bonuses because you listen to this podcast
I
with the
love it.
amazing Logan Plaster. So just type in Logan as your code.
Nice. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, best of luck with it. And I know it's already live. It's already out there in the world. And so I just hope it's a great fall as you kind of develop it and it matures.
It's going to
Um,
take a while. These
yeah,
things take months to build. We build them person by person. We learn along the way. We adapt along the way. It's not easy, never is. But with friends like you, it makes it a little easier.
nice. All right. Well,
All right.
best of luck.
Thanks, everyone.